Hi guys, welcome to another top 5 video, and today I thought we'd tackle my all-time top 5 N64 games. Now I know recently I did a video, I probably voted it as my worst console I'd ever owned. I mean, again, as I said in that video, you can go back and watch it. It's not that about the games. It was such a big disappointment. It was just the number of games rather than the quality of the ones it did have. But that's another subject. But even I've got to have my favourite games for it, because I mean it was breathtaking for the time. The amount of good stuff it did get and top quality gaming. So anyway, let's start with number 5. This isn't really come as a surprise, but I mean, it was a tough one to pick because there's so many other good games, but it's Blast Corps, which was the rare game. The one reason it stands out in my mind and makes it on my list is, even to this day I can go back to it. I got it in the rare collection recently on the Xbox, in the Xbox One when they re-released it, and it was just a lot of fun. You know, you have these different vehicles, you've got a time limit, you've got to get to the end of the level or complete something and do a mission. You have the mech suit, I think that's the fast car, the big robot, you know, no, that's the mech suit, it was the big robot. And it was just a really clever use and a great way of exploring this 3D world. And again, at the time there was nothing really like it. There hasn't been anything like it since. It was just a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah, next one, moving on, is number 4. In the US it was called Star Fox 64. Over here, and I think it was a licensing issue with the name, they called it Star Wing. It's exactly the same on the SNES as well, so Star Wing 64, but only with the Rumble Pack. This was my first experience with Rumble Packs. It's when they weren't really a thing, you know. I don't even think the PlayStation had got it by this point. And then you got this N64, it was a huge box. With it tucked inside, and you put a load of AA batteries in and slotted it into the cartridge, and the whole thing would shake, and you'd see, I mean, to these days it's common, you know, I mean, every controller shakes, it's part of the experience, you know, but back then, like playing a game like this where big explosions are going off and you're swooping around and you're playing shoot, and the controllers rocket in, and I can remember it drew you into the game, because I'd be talking to people about how amazing it was at the time. And there's been no, you know, I mean, it's commonplace these days, but this is back in the time there was just really nothing like it. So, and as a game, it was a lot of fun. It was a great way to get back into. Well, so it wasn't. Sorry, Staff. It was called Lilac Wars, wasn't it? I'm an idiot. Sorry, Lilac Wars. Yeah. Anyway, but it was great. Absolutely great game. Moving on. Number 3 is I chose this one over Mario Kart 64 because I never really got on with Mario Kart 64. I loved the SNES game but didn't love the 3D edition. And it's Diddy Kong Racing. This was another rare game, and it was just absolutely, it was amazing fun, absolutely fantastic. It was just bonkers, the size of the levels and the way they looked and how bright and colourful they all were, and it was a good racer. It's very addictive, and it was what really Mario Kart should have been, but just couldn't. I don't know why. That's Nintendo for you. But yeah, it was a fantastic game. I mean, I can remember buying it back in the day when these games were like £50–60, and I got it as a birthday present at the time. I was obsessed with it for months. It was an absolutely brilliant game. Anyway, now on to my second favourite N64 game, and it's got to be the classic Mario 64. I mean, I got this with my console because I think it was a launch game, and at the time, just there was nothing like it. It was like Nintendo. All these 3D style platforms were coming out, like Crash Bandicoot, Croc, Gecko, you know, that sort of rubbish, and then anyway, Nintendo brought this out, and they just showed everybody how it was done. And it was just absolutely fantastic. The freedom you had in the world, being able to fly around and fully explore, and the open worldness. So, well, it wasn't really, you know, they were controlled, closed offish areas, but they felt like it was a full world, and it was fun, and it was responsive, and it just controlled beautifully. And it was the first time anyone had got a 3D camera right, especially for a platformer. And, you know, they got around it by using having a guy follow you on a cloud as if he's filming you, so it was part of the story. It's quite a neat little trick, and you controlled it with the C buttons on the pad. Now I know Miyamoto was recently interviewed, and he actually said he regrets keeping the C buttons and not going for like another stick, but you know, they were pressed for time and that. But you know how much more better it would have been if you'd have had the camera on that stick as an extra thing. But you know, that's such is life. But it was just a great game. So many fond memories of it, just running through the levels. Probably my favourite suit was where you turn into Metal Mario, and it just, I remember at times like, wow, this looks fantastic, and just the way everything gleamed off, it was all shining. You jumped in the water and sank straight to the bottom. Brilliant fun. Anyway, yeah, so that leaves us with me top all-time favourite N64 game, which is probably no surprise. It's Ocarina of Time. Yes, it's a Zelda game. I mean, at the time I had played nothing like this, absolutely nothing. It was the most glorious action RPG adventure I'd ever played. I mean, you followed this character as a kid, evolving into an adult. Well, you know, with the time travel aspects and stuff, and the story's basic as it was still quite touching in places, and the fact that you could just, it felt like you could just go anywhere and explore. Yeah, the way you involved and built up the weapons and got the extra suits and all the extra stuff, and the way the enemies fought and the way the world looked, and then the beautiful thing where you stole Epona from the ranch, and I still know that to this day. You jump on the arse off the race and you dash down the path and jump over the fence, and the camera would flick to below and looking up as you're leaping over, and just nothing like it. Absolutely, absolutely my all-time favourite game, and the whole thing with it was very King Arthur. They'd always done that. The very sword in the stone style, where you pull the master sword out in the Temple of Time. Absolutely beautiful game. Even the PC's agreeing with me, beeping off in the background. But yeah, that's my top 5, guys. I'm sure people have some different ones. You might even disagree with me on why I said it was the worst console. Again, it's not it had the best games, but to me, I always felt like it didn't have, at the time, it didn't have enough games over a long enough period compared to, say, like the PlayStation, even the Saturn to some degree. No, that's another video, go and watch it. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and please look forward to another video soon.